A Father's Love. Episode 15. The Disappointment. The declaration spread all over my school that I would make the final selection for Tomita Awards. Mark recruited 2 people that helped spread the declaration. The declaration started trickling to other schools in the area. Dad sat with me in the dining room on a Saturday afternoon. A colleague said his son heard about your nomination for finalist on Tomita Awards. I smiled and looked at Dad. That's leadership, my friend. It's teamwork, Dad. I don't even understand that crazy Mark anymore. Dad nodded a bit. I mean, he did a million things I would never have thought to do. That's good, but... Dad suddenly paused. What's that, Dad? I don't know how to break this to you. Dad looked down, which is very rare. Dad, did I do anything wrong? I only really want. You might not make the final selection this time. Dad said sharply. There was an intense moment of silence. I tried to make eye contact, but Dad was still looking down. We're exercising our faith, but it's still not 100% guaranteed. Dad said calmly. So why did you take me through all the hassles knowing it might not work? But we showed it. Nobody can guarantee you nothing in this life, but it doesn't mean you won't apply the principles to achieve your goals. Sometimes it happens right away and sometimes it's delayed. Dad, this is my only chance for Tomita Awards. If you miss the selection for Tomita Awards, then I'm confident you are in line for a different, bigger award. Why can't I have the Tomita and the other bigger different awards? I'm not saying you can't. I'm only reminding you that if it doesn't come into fruition now, it'll come into fruition another time. All these campaigns, leadership and teamwork can't be in vain. I'm in the final selection for Tomita Awards. I said boldly as I moved closer to Dad. I just thought I should give you that pep talk. Dad started smiling. I shook my head as I left the dining room, smiling. On the day of the awards, the hall was full of students and parents from all schools in the district. Attendance was by invitation only. I noticed a few faces from my school, and I also noticed some government officials. I saw on television. The news anchor from Channel 5 was there. The students who made the initial selection sat in a special area. Seeing all these famous people congratulating us for making the initial selection was overwhelming to me. My eyes and that of Dad connected a few times. The chairman of the school board took the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honor of inviting our honorable premier to present the awards? The chairman said. The premier took the microphone as she turned to us. Outstanding job to all of you for making the initial selection. You have shown leadership in 1 or 2 areas. Our government, your individual schools, and your families are proud of you. The premier said as the audience gave a round of applause and a standing ovation. The time is here for selection of the top 3 for the Tomita Awards in this school district this year. The top 3 are... There was a deep silence. I looked towards Dad, but he was looking down. Phoebe Aladunjoy. There was a loud roar from an area of the hall. Phoebe walked over and stood by the premier. Joshua Johnson aka JJ. There was another bigger roar. Joshua stood by the premier. My eyes caught onto a small crowd outside. Mark was in front and on the placard were the words congratulations. I shook, thinking, what if I made it or didn't make it? There was a sudden uproar as I looked around to catch hold of what's going on. Another boy stood up. Magnificent job, David Olo. Join the rest. The premier motioned the last finalist. I realized I didn't make the final selection. I looked at Dad, who seemed like he'd been trying to get my attention. He was jubilating, blowing me kisses and sending me hugs. Does he know I didn't make it? I thought to myself. The premier presented the awards to the 3 finalists. The families danced forward to celebrate with the students. Guess who also danced forward? It's Dad. He grabbed me and started dancing with me. just like the families of finalists were celebrating with their children. The event ended. Dad called Mark and me to a corner. "Outstanding job, guys. You tried your best, but it didn't work out as expected. This doesn't mean it's over." Mark, who was almost crying, looked at me. There was a man called Moses who was going to the promised land. He did everything required, but he made a mistake and didn't make it to the promised land. Hundreds of years later, he stepped down on the promised land with Elijah and Jesus. Did he make it to the promised land or not? He did, I said calmly as Mark nodded in agreement. Moses also had a helper called Joshua. Joshua made it to the promised land. Dad turned to Mark. "Mark, I want to guarantee you that as you've helped my son, you will also achieve your rewards." Dad turned to me. "There's a bigger reward for you, son. All these campaigns you and Mark enacted could just be a preview to the highest political office." "What?" Mark and I said at the same time as Dad walked towards his car.